The stuff with the Oilers is absolutely amazing. I already talked about this with after the win. I've seen the Connor McDavid goal a million times, where even the Edmonton Oilers Twitter account themselves slowed it right down, and that goal is so filthy. It's just one of the one of the craziest goals that we're going to see in the playoffs. That thing's going to be showing for years. Where he slows down and goes around the defense's skates, just little tweaks, and it's absolutely crazy. If you haven't seen that, you've been living on a different planet. But it's something unreal. Anyway, I am Cinder Shadow. I've been an Oilers fan all my life. I've born and raised in Edmonton, Alberta, and I have to say, this year, the Oilers through the playoffs, the last few years have been really the stepping stones that they've been taking this organization. All the analysts always go against the Oilers. They always have been against the Oilers. At the beginning of the season, they were the favorites to win the cup. And at the very beginning of the season, they went on a 10-game losing streak. They like November, their record was something like 5-13-1 or something ridiculous. They were the bottom. They were in 31st place. I think there's 32 teams if I remember. And they crawled themselves out of the basement. They're like the third team in history, 10 points out of the playoff seed, and be able to actually go to the playoffs. And now I think going to the Stanley Cup final is that seed. So this is really a Cinderella story of the Edmonton Oilers. They've been in the playoffs before. This team knows how to react in the playoffs. And going up against the Florida Panthers, you got to sit there and go, well, the Florida Panthers went to the Cup final last year. They're going to be extra hungry because they lost last year. Can the Oilers pull it through and defeat the Florida Panthers on home ice? Can they come back? Can they split the first two games, or can they even come back and win two of those games and come back to Rogers Place with Game 3 being in their favor? It's going to be a tough sell. I think if if anything, we hope for the split when they go down to Florida. They're going to be there for what is it, 3-4 days. They're going to end up flying here, and that's part of what I'm here to talk about today too. They've got 6 days off before they go. They're going to probably fly in a couple, either tomorrow or the day after, for a Saturday start. It's 6 p.m. my time, 8 Eastern for that hockey game. I will be watching. I will be on the edge of my seat, just waiting to see the magic happen. And this is part of it. Right now, the team has earned every ounce of being able to go to the store, get some alcohol, whatever they want, and just party it up a little bit. You celebrate your wins, and like back in the '80s when the Oilers did win these big championships in the Western Conference Final, they got a well deserved break and be able to offload a little bit and party it up a little bit. And there's a video going around now that I've seen this morning where Connor McDavid is loading a few boxes of beer into his car, and the he's surrounded by like just fans and people that are getting right up in his grill. Like Connor's trying to get into his vehicle, and the guy is standing there blocking half of his door. So he's having to actually get around the guy to get into his vehicle. This is not Edmonton fans. This is people that just think that they own their space. This is a violation. You don't get into someone's grill like that. You want to film them, whatever, but it's when you're half in their vehicle and you're blocking them from getting in their vehicle that I take issue to that. And it's really disheartening to see. If you see the Oilers, if you see any NHLer out there in the streets, this is why back in 2006, afterwards, we had such controversies because people wouldn't leave them alone. The media, they wouldn't leave them alone. We lost Pronger back in 2006, and the rumors around that were huge. And part of that was because of the way the media treated them, the public treated them, and it's absolutely disheartening to see these types of things. If they're out there and they're with friends or with their teammates and they're trying to move on and have a little bit of a piece of the pie and celebrate what's going on, let them be. Give them some space, give them some respect. They've earned it at this point. They've done everything possible to be at this stage in the game. And it's not cool to see these things. To see that the Edmonton Oilers, especially Connor McDavid, is getting crowded by people, especially when he's trying to get into his vehicle or just going into a store. They live here too, and give them a little bit more respect when they're trying to move around. If they're there, you know what? It's not hard to sit there and ask them, "Hey, can I get a video or a picture?" I understand you're doing your thing, but they're just trying to be themselves. And I I've got a couple people in the Discord that I know follow the Edmonton Oilers, and they've been able, luckily enough, to get like Connor's signature. But that was over dedication of knowing where, how, and what. And generally they say if Connor or Draisaitl or any of these guys are being crowded by people, they stop doing the signatures and they just walk away. They're just going to walk away. And it's these candid things, and let it be candid. There's an old picture where Connor's at the airport, and there's a couple that spot him, and they get a picture with Connor, and you can see Connor's face. He's like, "Oh God, what am I doing here?" You want to be polite. You don't want to say anything that will drum up more media, and this is the problem with what's going on now. The second you say anything and the second anything happens to be said, the media is going to spin it up and take it out of context. So, good on Connor for just kind of ignoring the people, letting them film. But it's not cool. No one should have to deal with people getting up in their grill, especially when he's opening up the trunk of his vehicle, putting his own personal effects in there, things he's bought, so they can go and relax as a team. And I gotta say, Connor probably spoke about them with everyone that he was having a few drinks with, just sitting there and having the realization that some people just don't have personal space, and that is the problem. You know what, Connor, he deserved a little bit of a time off, a little bit. He's earned it, and we all want to see that McDavid magic in the final round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. So if you see them around town, just don't go crazy. Be respectful. Don't get up in their grill. Don't block their path into their vehicle. It's absolutely disturbing to see that it's gotten this far. And social media, this is social media. They're going to show every little ounce of it. Anyway, I'm your product Canadian Phoenix in a Shadow. I'm signing off here. Have yourselves a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe.